What's up guys, this is Dave from Team Woven, and I'm coming to you guys with my FA deck profile. And so I've been testing different variants of this deck. I tried Armageddon Knight, I tried that Cock-a-doodle-doo version. It seemed like those, like either the Destrudo combo was just like paying too much life and not really worth the reward, and the Cock-a-doodle-doo version like needs at least 3 cards to do a combo that this deck can do in 2 cards. And so I'll explain that right now. I'm using an Ancient Gear engine, and I'll explain that right now. So for the FA monsters, we're going to have 3 Auto Navigator. Super dope card, on summon, normal or special, searches a field spell, and then if it's in the grave or in the hand, it's like a Destrudo off the FAs. Then the best 4, it's going to be Hang On Mock. Becomes Dark Law, it's unaffected by any monster effects that are lower than its level, so anything level and rank lower than 7 basically, because it's almost always going to be at 7. And for the last monster, it's going to be 2 Whip Crosser. I was playing 3 before, but then if you don't want to open too many FA these monsters, just because with the combo you're basically searching these guys. You'll kind of want to open Navigator and a way to do your combos. So I'm also playing 2 Ancient Gear Wyvern. So I'm playing Ancient Gear Catapult, which is similar to Barrage, but I'll explain the differences later. So when this guy is normal or specialed, he searches any Ancient Gear card except itself, and you can't set cards, I believe, for the rest of the turn. And then, let me double check. Yeah, if this card attacks, your opponent cannot activate their effects until the end of the damage step. So kind of like a mini Armades. So this card's dope because instead of saying, for example, I'm going to refer to, say, DZ's profile, because he's been one of the only YouTubers actually putting out FA content. So instead of just bringing out like a Thoroughblade, it's just a 4 body. It doesn't really do anything, no extra deck monsters with it or anything. This card, it gets you another copy of Catapult for next turn, or if you have cards that you want to set, then you don't even need to use the effect. But it's also just an Armades. Like, it has that, it's 1700. So it actually does more than I would say Thoroughblade does. And I just think it adds more to the deck than the Barrage engine does. I'll explain more about Catapult. It's more with Catapult, but I'm just saying the 4 target's a little bit better, in my opinion. So I'm playing just 5 hand traps. It's going to be 3 Ash and 2 Valor. Valor I think is going to be good for the upcoming format. It's Electromite, Alistair, Ancient Fairy, just like a bunch of different things that people don't really expect to get Valor. And with Spiral like not having a resort up 24/7, this actually comes up in that matchup as well. And so that was it for monsters. Now for field spells, ton of field spells. Grand Prix, I'm not going to explain their individual effects, just so this is going to be city, this is off-road, and then I'm playing 1 circuit. So basically whenever they're destroyed, they get to search any FA card besides themselves. They all have their own individual effects that make them good too, but you're basically going to want to be comboing off by blowing these cards up. And then just 2 terraforming for that. I was playing 3, but you don't really need to see, like, they're not like adding cards when they're played. They're only like more combo pieces, so you don't need to see them. You want to see at least 1 to 2 in your hand. So that's all you really need. You don't need 3 terraforming. It's not like you're dying to like get a plus off a field spell. It's just like a combo piece, really. And then this is the card that makes the deck function really well. Ancient Gear Catapult. So if you control no monsters, you could target a face-up card you control, destroy it, and if you do, special summon an Ancient Gear monster from your deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. And so this plus field spell gets you, I'm playing a Link version, so it gets you the Ancient Fairy combo, but the Ancient Fairy turns into a Tomahawk that summons all the tokens and turns into Skull Dread. And then since it's only a 2-card combo, the Skull Dread's going to be drawing 4, and then you put back 3, so you're going to be digging through to get to your Ashes and your Valors. And if you don't use the Wyvern's effect, like Wyvern can add another copy of this when it's summoned after you use this effect, and then Skuldred is going to just shuffle back the dead ones that you draw, like the dead one that you searched. So the biggest argument against this is like, oh, what happens if you see them later? They're dead. Well, that combo that you're going to be doing, that Wyvern's going to be a +1 when it's summoned. It searches another copy of this, and then Skuldred's going to shuffle it back and it turns into something else. So that's why I think this deck's really, really good. People don't like in this specific build with the links. That's why this version's good. Not in like a different build with either like Ancient Fairy, Cock-a-doodle plays or anything like that. I'll make a combo video also explaining more about this and the combo that gets you to Ancient Fairy. So basically this and a field spell. The field spell pops, you search Navigator. Navigator searches another field spell. The field spell makes the Navigator 3 and you have the Wyvern. So the Wyvern and the level 3 Auto Navigator become Ancient Fairy. And that's where the crazy rank 7 play comes in with links. Also, really quick, his graveyard effect too. If this is in the grave, you could destroy a card on your field and summon a machine token. So that's actually pretty relevant, and you could be used in the same turn as well to extend your play. So that's pretty noteworthy. And then the best cards also for the FAs are going to be the quick plays. So 3 test run, 3 pit stop, and some more quick plays. It's going to be 3 scapegoat. Scapegoat definitely adds a lot to the deck. It's kind of like a Trickstar thing where the monsters are cool, but then if you basically what you do is you kind of stun them a little bit with either like a Dark Claw or like a bunch of links and stuff. Or you could just like sit on a Mock with Dark Claw, activate this end phase, and then all the spawn traps and grave next turn is where you really start to go off. So this deck, I feel like the other versions of this deck kind of like didn't go off as crazy as they could, like this deck can with links. So they would kind of just stun a little bit, and then next turn with all the grave effects of the quick plays, that's when they would come off. But this deck is able to do that first turn with the whole Tomahawk plays. So I think that's what sets this deck apart. And for the next card, I'm playing 2 Foolish Burial Goods. Now, normally I wouldn't play this if I wasn't playing Ancient Gear Catapult, because Foolishing the FA quick plays are really subpar because they can't be activated until your next main phase. But this sends Catapult, and Catapult could pop the field spell or something else to summon a token, and so it becomes like becomes a search at that point. And you could also Foolish a pit stop, and then if you already have a pit stop in your hand, draw 2. That's not really relevant, but that can come up. And then 2 Desires, just need to get more cards in your hand, and then 2 Reborn, so Actual Reborn and then Soul Charge. Actual Reborn is nuts, I can't believe it's back. So that was the main deck. Now going into extra deck. So Skuldred, this is like your main combo turn 1 that you're going to be ending on. Borload, just because Borload's crazy going second. Decode. Genius, because they're all machines, the Tomahawk play. Proxy. Double Link Spider. I don't have the second one, I'm letting a friend borrow it. So that, and then the last card is also another proxy. It's just Underclock Taker. Again, my friend's borrowing it for now because he's trying to learn the deck. So it's going to be these links with another Link Spider, and then Underclock Taker. So those are all the links that you play. For Synchros, you're going to play 1 Motorhome, 1 Mech, 1 Omega, 1 Ancient Fairy, and 1 Black Rose. I'm only playing 1 Motorhome just because turn 1, it doesn't really do anything. You kind of have to hope it survives, and then maybe you can increase its levels later to just bring back a monster. It's really like mediocre. It's just honestly just like a big beat stick. Easy to make, but turn 1 it's not really much you can do with that. Vermilion Dragon is just super good, especially with your hand traps or adding back Auto Navigator or popping your field spells. Different things like that. Vermilion Dragon's pretty good. It's easy to make 9s in this deck. Omega, just because you're able to get 2 4s on the field. Ancient Fairy and Black Rose. You only really need 1 Ancient Fairy. You're usually using it all in that first combo to make a Skuldred. And then the last 2 cards are Baguska and then Galaxy Tomahawk. Tomahawk's nuts. Super easy because you can increase the FA levels easily with just like a FA and a field spell. They become level 7 and you overlay with Ancient Fairy. So that's going to be your combo. And then just lastly for side deck, this is just what I'm playing. It's whatever you guys want. Just playing Kaijus. And this is like a going second package. Just board wipes, back row, removal, then actual traps. I think actual traps are pretty good this format. Barrier, Nightmare, and Breakthrough. I actually think Breakthrough is gonna make a comeback. Just the fact that you're able to like stop stupid stuff on their turn, and then whatever they make after that, you just deal with it in the grave. So that was it, guys. I'll link a combo video of the first turn combo I was talking about. But I honestly think the Ancient Gear Catapult is the best engine for this deck. It provides the most. It does more than Barrage, Cock-a-doodle-doo, Armageddon Knight, the Destrudo. All these different things, like even the like Ties of Brethren, like that one's just like, I don't even know why. But all those engines are subpar compared to this one, just because it adds so many different plays. And the catapults, after you use the first one, aren't dead because most of the time you're just going to be shuffling it back, or you can even use them because you're not always going to have a board. So arguments against that, it's not really that big of a deal, to be honest. So let me know what you guys think. This is David from Team Oven signing out.